So Lucy, a lot of people, at least a lot of adults, talk a lot about, the incredible cost of college and that there are alternatives to going to college. That there are a lot of reasons to go for education, for social reasons, but you're also talking about something that takes 4 years of your life at a very productive age and also costs up to $250,000. Now you're a senior at one of New York City's most prestigious schools, Bronx Science, and has it ever crossed your mind that not to go to college?
No, not exactly. I think like from a very young age, a lot of people are just told that that's sort of the path you must take. I know that in Bronx Science, our guidance department that works with the college process, it's pretty much a requirement to go through it, and I don't really see it like as an option, and I don't really think like many of my peers at Bronx Science see it as an option.
Not going is not an option,
yeah.
Right? And so, what do you? So you're applying to, or you're considering a number of schools.
Yeah.
How many schools?
About like 8 to 10.
8 to 10. So you'll get into one, I hope. And
yes.
So what do you anticipate getting out of college? Are you going to learn a specific skill? Are you going to get a degree? Or are you going to become an educated adult, or are you going because you think it's necessary to get a job?
A little bit of all of those things. I mean, specifically, I have a lot of interests in different areas, and I can't really, I guess, I'm not in a position to sort of choose one or make a decision on which one I want to pursue. And I think that going to college would be like a great opportunity to learn more about each of those things and really choose what I want to focus on.
Do you have any idea what you're going to major in?
Well, I'm thinking of going pre-med, so probably going to major in.
Well, so if you're going to be a doctor, going to college is probably a really great idea.
Yeah.
So we're also joined here by Sinke, and he dropped out or left Brown University when he was a sophomore to originally do something called Breaker. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Breaker?
Well, Breaker is a program basically for 18 to 24-year-olds who are looking for different opportunities to be involved in entrepreneurship. And it's structured around like projects. For example, the first one was the future of a book, the second one was around urban agriculture, and the third one was about technology for civic engagement. And the purpose is basically to get individuals who are interested and have some skills to try to tackle these problems that we have in our society today.
And you decided not to return to Brown. Why?
Just because I was more interested in pursuing what I was good at. I mean, I'm really good at forging my own path, and that's what got me to college. That's what got me to Brown in the first place. And so I decided to go with my gut and keep going on. And pretty much, I'm learning every day more about being involved in the technology field, especially in New York City. A very, very interesting place to be. And
you're working on starting a company. That's what you're doing. You're working
yes.
on being an entrepreneur. Can you give us the elevator pitch for what you're building?
Our company, the company I'm starting with my co-founders is called Pictobar, and it's a place where people can be able to see information about other people based on the attributes and qualities instead of links, what they say, mostly things that are on a lot of social media. And we hope it's a place where people can get to know people better, faster, without having to make assumptions beforehand.
Did your parents or your friends think you were crazy when you decided? I mean, getting into Brown's pretty hard,
yeah.
Right? And getting out of Brown, there's a lot of networks that would go with you for the rest of your life. Now, did anybody just say, "Well, Sinke, you're just nuts. What are you doing? Just stay here for another 2 years, and then you can do your..."
Well, it's interesting. At first, very much so. I mean, like, I had left even before Breaker started this summer, so I was already decided that, hey, this is what I wanted to do. This is what I want to pursue. My parents weren't okay with it. I mean, my family thought I was crazy, but then as soon as I started, things started to come through. I started to do more work, network. They started to like, oh, maybe he's onto something, so.
What do you feel like you're missing by not getting a college education?
I feel like the thing that I'm missing by not getting a college education is the time. For, I guess, just the time to, enjoy adolescence, to explore multitude of opportunities while still not being fully immersed in the real world and the real world responsibilities of being an adult.
Lucy, how important are social questions when you start thinking about college? I know when I was looking at colleges, that was really important to me.
I think it's really important. I mean, I think like college socially is a time when a lot of people mature and learn a lot about themselves and how they interact with other people.
So Peter Thiel is a billionaire who started PayPal, and he's going around, although he himself is highly educated and has multiple degrees, he is walking around offering people who get into elite colleges like Brown and probably like the places that you're applying, and offering, I think it's $100,000 to go off and do entrepreneurial activities. If somebody offered you $100,000 not to go to school, now think about that, that's a big savings because it's also on top of the $250,000 you would be paying to go to school. Would you take it?
It's tempting, but I'd probably say no. Because I think in order to do that, like what you're doing, you have to know exactly what you want to do. And I think a lot of that comes from like sort of business, technology approach. I'm not really that person. I think what I want to do really requires that college education.
You didn't get, Peter Thiel didn't come up to you and write you a big check.
No, he did not. I wish.
Financially, how did that decision work for you?
Financially, I mean, I have no crazy outstanding debt, so I'm happy. I mean, like, if I really wanted to, I could go back to school. I mean, so that's that.
Would you advise other people to go the path that you're on? I mean, we were talking earlier about, you know, a lot of times people are in school, in college, because they just don't really know what they're doing with their lives. Do you think that leaving that sort of cocoon, is that something you would advise for people or not? Do you really need to know what you're going to do at that time?
I don't think you really need to know what you want to do. I just feel that people should question more what their goals in life are, because I feel like a lot of the times this conversation of the true value of education in the United States is not even asked of high school students or pretty much anyone else who's expected to go to college. So I mean, I feel like even just having that conversation could spark a lot of like other options that are out there, like Breaker, for example. So I mean, that's one thing that I think people should be more interested in. And after you do that, I feel like then you're going to be more prepared to take on whether you're ready to go to college or whether you're ready to try something out in the real world.
Great. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.